the very latest on the virus. The total cases in our state is now jumped to 16 today. There are no new cases in West Michigan. We remain at 4, 1 in Montcalm County and 3 others in Kent.
Governor Whitmer making a life-altering decision today, banning events of more than 250 people in our state.
And the city of Kalamazoo has declared a state of emergency as they prepare for a flood of college students.
We have wall-to-wall coverage to keep you informed on this important story and the impact here in West Michigan.
First, to that big move tonight by President Trump declaring the coronavirus pandemic a national emergency. Here's what it means. It opens up $50 billion for states. The president also ordering states to set up emergency centers and for hospitals to activate emergency preparedness plans. The president also empowering the Secretary of Health and Human Services to waive certain laws and regulations to ensure the virus can be contained and patients treated. 1.4 million new tests for coronavirus would be available next week, 5 million available within the next month.
The action I am taking will open up access to up to $50 billion of very important and a large amount of money for states and territories and localities in our shared fight against this disease. Americans are the strongest and most resilient people on earth. And in the coming weeks, we will all have to make changes and sacrifices, but these short-term sacrifices will produce long-term gain.
Governor Whitmer also taking more steps to prevent the spread of the virus. She signed an executive order today canceling all events in the state with more than 250 people.
News 8 political reporter Rick Albin kicking off our team coverage with what this means going forward. Rick?
Well, this is a big deal. The governor said she issued her order to help keep the virus from spreading. So all events over 250 people or gatherings of 250 people in shared spaces have been canceled all the way through April 5th. The governor's executive order also closes all K through 12 school buildings. Now, schools have already been closed, but this is closing the buildings to students from Monday all the way through April 5th. Those child care facilities that are connected or freestanding with those schools will still be open. But what it does mean is that all of these events, that it applies to all of these events around the state, and it does mean that if they involve more than 250 people, they will be closed down. There are some exceptions: industrial manufacturing work sites, mass transit, so you can still go to the airport or going to the store. If you go to a big store to buy something, obviously people are going to have to get some dry goods out there at some point, so you can still do that. But Whitmer said in a release, quote, "This is about protecting the most people from the spread of the coronavirus. My administration will continue to do everything we can to mitigate the spread and to ensure our children, families, and businesses have the support they need during this time. We are going to get through this, but we must be flexible and each take care of each other." That was the end of the quote. So in addition to closing all the schools until April 6th, gatherings of more than 250 are not being allowed as the latest effort to slow or perhaps reduce the spread of the coronavirus. Brian?
All right, Rick, thank you. And now to the latest on the infected in our state. 4 new cases, bringing the statewide total today to 16. News 8's Donovan Long is breaking down what we know about the patients in our state so far. Donovan?
Ryan and Sue, the good news is there are no new cases in West Michigan today, but we did learn last night that there are 3 cases in Kent County and 1 in Montcalm County. The three patients in Kent County include 2 women and 1 man. Now, we do know they traveled internationally. We do not know where they went specifically or where they may have spent time in our area because the Kent County Health Department hasn't released any of that information. We do know that some patients from Metro Detroit spend time in our community, though. The Oakland County Health Department says those patients visited places in our area between March 6th and March 8th. They stopped at Five Guys, MSA Woodland, Texas Roadhouse, Subway, and Jimmy John's, all located on 28th Street. In Montcalm County, we are learning new information about the county's first presumptive case. Authorities say a woman reported having coronavirus symptoms after traveling overseas.
Well, we do have to respect patient privacy, but we do have an individual that has a presumptive positive, meaning that sample does go on to the CDC for confirmatory testing. The individual did travel internationally, has been under quarantine since returning home as advised, and developed symptoms after arriving back home.
Yeah, Dr. Moore says, again, as you heard, the Montcalm County woman has been under a self-quarantine at home since returning from her trip. Officials telling me she went straight from the airport to her house, and they do not believe that there is a known community exposure at this time. Back to you.
Donovan, thank you. While it was a move to stem the spread of coronavirus, one fallout from Governor Whitmer's decision to close down schools means no school lunch program. But some local nonprofits are stepping up to make sure that kids don't go hungry. News 8's Joe LaFurgey is live in Grand Rapids now with that story tonight. Joe.
Hi, Sue. Kids Food Basket provides after-school meals for children, and now they and other organizations have ramped up their efforts to fill in the need for those school closings.
All right, who asked for cereal?
Just try keeping up with Ruth Ann Schulte.
Cereal?
When Kids Food Basket put out a call for help with filling baskets for kids who will miss free and reduced school meals, Schulte responded, and she wasn't alone.
I've just heard people coming out of the woodwork saying, how can we help? What can we do? We know there's a great need.
Some 70,000 kids in the 4-county region served by Kids Food Basket receive school-based meals. Governor Whitmer shut the schools down. KFB went into emergency mode.
The speed and extent to how we can serve our West Michigan community depends on the resources from our West Michigan community.
Those resources are cash to buy bulk food and volunteers to help distribute it. Now, usually getting volunteers would be the easier of the two, but not with coronavirus.
We're asking people to come in and be 100% healthy when they come in to serve. We will make sure our group sizes are in alignment with our state of Michigan mandates. Additionally, if people are not feeling well or they want another way to get involved, donations make a huge difference.
Kids Food Basket is not alone in their efforts and needs.
Oatmeal is a simple thing to send home with students.
Hand-to-Hand Ministries partners with local churches and schools to provide 7,800 kids enrolled in free and reduced lunch programs in over 200 school districts throughout West Michigan with weekend meals. They too are expanding their efforts and stretching their finances.
We may be purchasing things like pancake mixes, pasta, things that I think are gone on the shelves already at our local grocery stores.
Two organizations, one vital goal.
Anytime children are fed, it is a win.
Now, Hand-to-Hand uses their established network of churches to distribute food, but Kids Food Basket is setting up some emergency distribution centers throughout the area. We'll let you know as soon as those centers are established. If you want to help both of these organizations with a financial donation, we have that information at woodtv.com. Live in Grand Rapids, Joe LaFurgey, News 8.
The city of Kalamazoo has declared a local state of emergency.
Officials are concerned about planned off-campus St. Patrick's Day parties and COVID-19. News 8's Kyle Mitchell is live at KDPS headquarters with what we're learning about that. Kyle?
The KDPS police chief says she's concerned about large WMU student gatherings that are off campus for St. Patrick's Day. Now, this is file video showing areas where these parties are often held. In past years, thousands of students have attended, which often closes off streets, and more are expected this year because in-person classes have been suspended due to the coronavirus. Public safety is establishing a police zone that will only allow residents in and out of these areas. Officers will not say where that zone is in order to protect the intelligence they've received about the parties, but say it will only be as big as needed. The chief says there are serious penalties for anyone who violates these rules. They're concerned about the potential spread of the virus and also want to protect residents and officers.
I am not a medical professional, but we've all been warned as to what close contact does in the spread of this disease, and we need to help mitigate that and slow the spread of this current epidemic.
The public safety chief is asking people not to attend St. Patrick's Day events, including this off-campus party. Reporting live from Kalamazoo, Kyle Mitchell, News 8.
Thank you, Kyle. There is a growing list of places shutting down, including a popular West Michigan brewery. Lindsay McComal is in studio with what Founders is doing. Lindsay?
We'll see both Founders Grand Rapids and Detroit tap rooms are now closed until April 5th to hopefully help prevent any potential spread here in West Michigan. The Grand Rapids tap room can seat up to 600 people. So Founders says it was important for them to do their own part in cutting down on any potential spread. Additionally, the company also announced it will be paying its affected employees by this closure through the duration of it. Brewing operations will still continue. Those facilities don't have anywhere near 250 employees at a given time. The taproom closures will mean a big hit for business, but co-founder Mike Stevens says it will be worth it in the long run.
Don't take serious measures on the front end and allow this to trickle out and last for 6 months to 12 months.
Right.
And I'm afraid we're going to have a lot more business struggles on our hands.
Now, we've also just learned from Bell's their March 23rd Oberon Day launch party is canceled. The beer will still be sold, but they aren't doing the big gathering at the eccentric cafe like usual. Brian.
Lindsay McCombel, thank you. The Diocese of Grand Rapids canceling Mass through March 29th. It is to coincide with the governor's new rule about gatherings of more than 250 people. Churches will remain open for private prayer during normal weekend Mass times and other times as normally scheduled. And Mass will be live streamed online. Daily Masses where less than 100 people are gathered will continue. Organizers of Gilda's Laugh Fest announced this weekend's events have been canceled or postponed. New dates will be announced soon. Ticket holders can get refunds, and that includes the Jeff Foxworthy signature event at DeVos Place. It was a dinner and a show event. Laugh Fest announced today that they'll donate the more than 700 unused meals to Mel Trotter. Several places that would normally be very busy on weekends when school is closed are also shutting down. Here are a few of the big ones. Meyer Gardens, the Grand Rapids Library, the Grand Rapids Public Museum, and the Grand Rapids Art Museum all closed until further notice. The Kent District Library will be closed until April 6th. We've got a full list over on our website.
Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is announcing plans to reduce the risks at local branches. The biggest change, there will be no more walk-ins over the next 3 weeks. Only critical services will be provided at branches, and anyone who needs it needs to make an appointment. Those critical services include new driver's license renewals, title transfers, and testing for a special license. The goal is to prevent overcrowding.
We recognize the significant economic impact it would at this time lead to if we were to shut down all in-person operations through our branch offices. We feel this is a compromise that will enable us to protect the safety of our employees and our residents and also deliver the services that are needed and must be done in person during this 3-week window.
Late fees will also be waived during this period. You can make an appointment online. We do have the links at woodtv.com.